See, so I was gonna double up on videos today. However, I just got an offer to hang out from one of my friends, so uh, I'm just gonna do one video today. I'm not really at the position where I'm comfortable telling someone about my channel in general. I don't want to be a shameless self-promoter. I kind of want to let things go as they go. But also, it's kind of hard, even if the person does know you're recording stuff for YouTube, to tell someone like, oh, I can't hang out. I'm recording for a video, and they know that video is gonna have 5 views, like at best. I'm sure later, when I have a decent amount of people watching me, it'll be easier to say those things. But as of right now, no, it's not easy at all. Heads up, this raw video is only like 47 minutes, so it's probably going to be a lot of unedited, straightforward stuff. I'll try to make it interesting, but like I said, I don't have a lot of time, so just gonna try to pump something out real quick so I can stay consistent. I will absolutely double up on Wednesday though. I'll make sure that there's 2 videos, probably a Slime Rancher and a third undisclosed game. Maybe something nostalgic, maybe just a roguelike. Who knows? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to talk about. I guess I could tell you about what's going on in life. I just tried to replace my gas pump. I'm not a mechanic or anything, but my car does suck and I'm broke. So I don't really have the choice to try and pay someone else to do it. So I have to do it myself. So when things such as this, like the gas pump or the fuel pump, come up, I have to just learn how to do it myself. And I did. I got it taken out, everything, just to find out the new part I was sent by Amazon, which literally told me that it fit my specific car. It didn't fit my car. So I had to put it all back together and use the old fuel pump, and it's still messing up and whatever, but it's okay. It was a lesson in patience. Everything's working, everything's running enough for me to get to and from work and to and from school. So it's all right. There's a whole lot of things testing my patience. I'm also trying to restore these shoes. I really, really like retro Jordan 13s. I guess not even retro, just Jordan 13s in general. And I found the pair of the Chinese New Year's from 2020, and I like those a lot. They're very scuffed. I got them off eBay, so they're kind of, they don't look the greatest. But I have the Rejuvenator kit. I have a brass bristle brush. I have all this different stuff to try and restore it, and none of it was working. None of it at all. I kept trying what people were saying in videos, and it was not working. I just left Walmart, and I got some vinegar to try to clean them. I was really, really frustrated for a long time. I was like, I just got burned out of like $80, whatever. Can't be too mad, blah, blah, blah. And I had given up. And I'm very disappointed in myself for giving up that early. Now, I guess, I didn't really give up because I did come back to it, as I'm going to get to. But I did kind of assume that it was hopeless. And that makes me sad. I gave up, even if for a little bit. It wasn't just like I'll come back to it later. I just was like, it's hopeless. And later, I was like, what am I talking about? I'm gonna go back to it, and I worked on it, and I did get to clean some of it. Now it looks worse off than when it started, but that's because I brought all the dirt to the surface. It swayed, so all of the shoe suede too. The only non-suede part is the sole, so it's very difficult to clean. I have a really terrible habit of just doing the most difficult version of a task when I first jump into a hobby. But I did bring the dirt to the surface. The suede is soft now. It might be able to be cleaned. It's a it was a lesson in tenacity for me, just to, keep trying. Now, I did come back to it, like I said, but for those days or so in between me putting it down and picking it back up, I had fully committed to the idea that it wasn't fixable anymore. And it very much was. I hope that I can take that lesson with me moving forward, because it's small lessons like those in life that if you pick up on them when they're taught to you, you don't have to learn the hard way later. There's not much else going on in life though. Like I said in my Slime Rancher video, I cannot leave the mall without grabbing a cinema roll item. And I grabbed two things. I grabbed hair ties and a fanny pack. Now, the hair ties were $11, which is kind of insane to me, but I always know that like that whole Hello Kitty brand stuff is insanely expensive. And I got a fanny pack and it was $35. $35. That's insane. Now, I'm sure people who normally buy that stuff have so much of it, so you got to be balling or something. But I thought this fanny pack was going to be, 15, 16. It is very cheaply made. I'm not going to lie to you. And it does not hold a lot of stuff. And it's so small, it does not clip around my body any which way. I'd have to clip it around my thigh maybe. And I just got it because I thought it looked cool. And if I bought two things, I would get 50% off. But then it turns out that wasn't eligible, so I only got 30% off. Whatever. Stupid stuff. Still dumb. I hated it. I was very disappointed. But that's okay. Really, it was just on me for not, just saying, I'm not gonna buy the fanny pack. Let me just walk it back to the aisle where I got it from. But me, haha. Can't. It's just so incredibly awkward to be like, actually, never mind. I don't know why that irks me so much, but it does. Every time I'm like out of money or can't afford something or whatever, it crushes my soul. I don't like that. But that's just pride. And pride can get in the way a lot of the time. You don't really want to let that stop you from doing something that's best for you. Again, it's the small lessons like that you have to learn early on, so that later, when you encounter a problem with the same answer, but with harsher consequences, you can make the correct decision. I know I'm saying that a lot, so let me just give an example. If I was in the same situation, let's say I had to walk back a decision I've made in order to save something. Let's say a relationship. I was very close with somebody and I made a decision, and once I've made the decision or said it out loud, before putting it into action, I realized it's probably not the best and it could hurt the other person or jeopardize the relationship we have. I need to, take a deep breath and be like, no, never mind. I know I said that with my whole chest. I know I was really happy about the decision, but I just don't think that's for the best. I'm sorry. Or you didn't really have to apologize. Just be like, yeah, I just don't think it's for the best. And if I had the same mentality I had when I walked up to the counter with those two items, I might be like, well, I already said it. Might as well stick it out and see how it goes. Now, in the mall situation, I'm only out of $45 or something like that. It was $50 before the discount in my $5 write-off for my account or whatever. But in the situation I provided, you could be out of a friendship or even like a romantic relationship. Those things are important, more important than $40, at least to me, much more important. So just like the saying, when people show you who they are, believe them. When a problem presents its answer, learn it, hold on to it, the first time it's shown to you. There are small lessons in everyday life. You're supposed to be growing every single day. And even if it's not every single day, I challenge you to grow every single week in a small way. You can learn the same lesson multiple times. You can learn a small lesson every week. It doesn't have to be mind-blowing, whatever. But keep progressing. Keep doing your best to be better. People care about you, and you are important to other people. So do right by them and improve yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can be. A lot of the times you can hurt other people who care about you by undermining your importance to them in multiple different ways. You could be doing your best trying to help them. If someone's having a small and intimate birthday party that you know about, and it was sent to a group chat text, and they were like, oh, I don't want a lot of people coming, blah, 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 whatever. And you just assume that that person doesn't really care about you, and you don't show up to their party. They may not be mad at you, but you could really hurt them because they really did care about you. And out of everyone in that group chat, or even in their life, they could have wanted you there specifically. But you both, it's not like you hated each other or you intended to hurt them, but you did hurt them. Your intentions might have been good, but the execution was terrible and it didn't end up working out for you. I've had a lot of experiences like that in my life on both ends because I really do care about people. And if I care about somebody, I care about them a lot. And I have struggled with self-esteem issues for most of my life, up until I was, 20. So when someone does care about me, but I'm feeling insecure or something like that, something along those lines, I've many times undermined my importance to them and then acted in a way, while not malicious, still hurt their feelings, which is terrible because you care about that person. So, don't do that. I wish I had more examples, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right now. And I can't make an addendum later because I have to hurry up and record this and edit it and put it out. I refuse to get off track. Now that I've started and I really, really, really enjoy this process, I'm not going to let anything stop me. I was at the gym earlier today. I don't really like lifting weights at the gym. I like calisthenics. So I just use the treadmill at the gym. But on the treadmill, I was just thinking of everything that I wanted, all the goals. It was like symbolic. On the treadmill, I was walking towards those goals. And one of the goals is to succeed in this channel, to succeed and to do better and to be able to help people, smile, whatever. I don't know. Maybe this advice that I'm giving now is helpful to somebody. But I can't do that if I let the fear or frustration of a lack of audience or a failure of anything stop me. I have to start. And that means something coming from someone who is at the bottom. If The Rock tells you to exercise and that he started somewhere too, it's kind of hard to understand, or it's kind of hard to empathize with him because he's so far removed from that situation. You can't really say that he still relates to your position anymore. I don't have any support on this endeavor of a channel financially. I have a couple very small group of people I've told about this, and they support me in every way they can, and I do love and appreciate that with my whole soul. However, that's not going to pay my car note. That's not going to pay anything. That's not going to give me motivation, because the goal for this channel is to reach a bunch of people, is to be sustained off this, is to make a living. So if I want to do that, I need more than the 3 people that I've told to watch this. So you can see where my frustration, or not even just frustration, but just lack of motivation comes from. But I can't let that stop me. In doing that, I undermine the potential of what I could do. Many people have asked me, strangers online, of course, but they've all asked me if I've had a YouTube channel, and it's always made me laugh. I didn't take it as a compliment. I just thought that they thought I was a character or a personality or something. But every time afterwards, they say I should start one. And again, falling back on the undermining thing, a lot of the time I'll record something and be like, this isn't interesting. Or reasons I have hours and hours of audio is because I'm either sitting in silence or saying something and cutting myself off because I'm like, this isn't interesting. This is boring. I decide what that means to me. I cannot decide what that means to anybody on the other side of the screen. I can't cut access from me, my story, my personality, who I am as a person before it's even reached the other side. If I do that, then I'm not giving anyone the chance to listen. And there could be people who enjoy it. I just don't think they would enjoy it. And I'm taking that away from them. And I'm undermining the entertainment, relaxation, whatever anybody gets from this. And I remove that from the equation. And then that could, I don't want to say hurt. You don't miss what you've never had. But I'm still depriving someone of something that they would literally be better off with. So, I don't know. The last part kind of felt a little bit conceited, but not to say that I'm the key to happiness in anyone's life, but I do know that a lot of YouTubers, especially growing up, were like everything to me as a kid. I've talked a couple times, probably every video. No, never mind. I've talked a couple times about my love for YouTube as a child. My dad used to be very, very strict about what I could watch because he didn't want me getting the wrong idea or like picking up weird traits from stuff online because he knew I was a sponge as a kid. I would pick up anything anyone said very quickly. So it started with me watching Slender the 8 Pages. I would watch a lot of people play it. I would look into like the joke stuff. I would watch compilations, anything and everything about it. I used to love creepypastas as a kid. But it was hard because one of the things was no swearing. My dad didn't want me to think swearing was okay, in his house at least. So I couldn't watch anybody swearing. So the most I could do was like turn off the volume if they swore more than twice, and I'd have to watch the video in silence. But if I'm watching a horror game, then obviously that's not going to be the experience I want to have. So I continued watching horror games. I found Markiplier, who for the most part was relatively clean, but you know, he's nothing like the Mark he is now, but he definitely does not hold his tongue when it comes down to it. But he didn't swear enough to where my dad wouldn't like walk in the room and be like, what the heck are you watching? You know, whatever. Then Markiplier played a game called Five Nights at Freddy's, which was not scary to me at all. But when he beat it, I ran out of things. I was like, what the heck? What do I watch? So I looked up Five Nights at Freddy's 1 and just was scrolling through the stuff. And then I saw a video that had been recommended to me multiple times and I always skipped it. Corey Kenshin's Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Night 3 completed. It was definitely something I had to get used to. I remember being like, why is this 35-year-old man so excited playing the game? And I laugh so hard thinking about that now because he was like, I don't know, I think he had not even gotten to college yet. I was just young, so I was in 7th grade. I didn't know anything. But that was the start of my real love for YouTube. A guy on the TV screen who looked just like me, joked just like me, and even was religious like I was. He also played a lot of indie horror games, and I love indie horror games to this day. Crooked Man, Aoni, all that stuff. I liked it so much. So I ended up binge watching him nonstop for hours and hours and hours. And I was the only person I knew for the longest time, probably for 3-4 years, that knew who Corey Kenshin was. It was weird being the only fan. And then for him to surge in popularity, and then everybody knew who he was, I stopped feeling cool. But I wasn't one of those I knew him before he was famous kind of people, but whatever. All that really to say, I was very positively impacted by Corey and even by Markiplier. Both of those people had such a positive impact on my life, especially when I was younger. A lot of the personality traits I have are picked up from other people. Most of my humor is picked up from a friend I had in high school and my dad. A lot of my core values are picked up from family members around me. I mean, this isn't a unique experience. I know most people feel this way. But I'd say more than likely, disproportionately so, YouTubers make up a large part of my personality as well, for my age and where YouTube was at the time. I was definitely not, one of YouTube's first watchers. I probably started watching in 2008, probably maybe late 2007. But yeah, no, it was definitely something that was like, YouTube was very important to me. And when I think of why I want to be a YouTuber specifically, not just like an influencer. It's not like I want to just have success on TikTok or whatever, anywhere, doing something I'm good at. It's the fact that I want to be a YouTuber because YouTube played such a big role in my young life. And I remember the positive effect it had on me. And if I could have that effect on someone else, it would mean a lot to me. I'm really happy about that. I know it's not feasible. It's not probable. It's not likely. But things with a lower chance of happening have happened. My birth, for example. Me being alive to this day, even. There's a lot of things that aren't likely to happen, but they do. And there's no harm in trying. I'm going to keep posting as long as I can to whatever audience I end up accruing. I could post to 0 viewers forever, and after I die, everyone could find out about me and love me, and I gain 1 billion subscribers post life. And I'd still be happy because I still did what I wanted to do. I may not be there to reap the benefits, but I've got 3 little brothers, 3 blood little brothers, 1 million more little siblings, and practically adopted children, so hopefully they could reap the benefits in that hypothetical scenario. I don't know. I've been talking for dang near 30 minutes now. And I know I'm not going to make you guys sit through 30 minutes of me talking and playing Elden Ring. So I'm going to cut it off here. Try to edit this. Get it out there soon. Yeah. This episode got a lot more deep and personal than I expected it to, but I'm glad that I was able to talk and be open and share my experiences. It doesn't really sound like this episode is going to be too entertaining per se, I guess in the comedic aspect. I'll try to compensate for that in the editing process. But if not, this will just be a more serious video, so Yeah, I don't know. Thank you, though, for listening. Whether you skip to the end, listen to bits and pieces of the whole thing, you're listening to this message right now. So I appreciate it. I hope that you have a lovely day, evening, or night. Remember, people love you and care about you, and that you're important to them. So, do with that what you will. Anyways, Kate, bye.